Samuel's hater gets exposed by his own wife. I wanted to check this out for a while. Let me see. Let's see.
With Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels was a terrorist to the family dynamic, to the family structure. He was a terrorist. He convinced weak men to be weaker men.
You have to deal with Kevin Samuels as the cake and not the icing. A man that says a woman loses her value because she has children made him popular. It wasn't talking about men. It was talking about women. That made him popular. So how can a man open his mouth without living the life he's talking about?
I'm embarrassed. I'm ashamed. I'm hurt. I've tried everything. Yada.
Woman does not walk away from a place where she feels happy and she's stable on each and every level.
Man, this is what I always try to tell people, man. Stop believing the narrative that these influencers be coming on the internet trying to make it seem like they do this, they do that. It's always more to the story, man. People, I feel like a lot of this is just for entertainment, and a lot of times you got to think these influencers are getting paid off of this content.
I have to choose myself, and I have to protect our babies. And I would much rather them have both parents alive than to one be in a hospital with something terminal or...
Look, now she exposing the man. The man that was talking all this stuff about not going 50-50, all of this stuff about putting these women on pedestals. Come find out he was beating on his wife. Come on, bruh. He a weirdo.
One of us not to be here.
For you to disrespect the mother of your child is a mental illness. You pushed her away. Now you're complaining about her leaving. See, this is the problem. You men take no accountability. No.
See what I'm saying? These type of dudes right here, man, I can always spot when they just doing this type of stuff and the way they be acting as if they this high and mighty person. These be the ones that be in sheep clothing, but really be wolves.
You men have to stop stressing.
Simping is dangerous.
Yes, it is. The GOAT.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Riva, and I'm back again with another video.
Riva.
And today we are talking about this Yada awakening drama. Okay, if you guys are unaware of what is going on, I'm sure you guys have seen this man like I have on various different panels talking about relationship dynamics and stuff like that. But his wife has recently come out and talks about the fact that they broke up. But not only that they broke up, she has made allegations that he put the paws on her. We're going to go ahead and dive right into this conversation. And of course, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts, my feelings, and my opinions on this entire situation. Now, as I said before, I don't really know who Yada Awakening is, or Yada Yan, I think is his name on social media. But what I do know is I have seen him in the relationship space. I have seen him on panels doing like verses with people and kind of like arguing talking points.
Woman does not walk away from a place where she feels happy and she's stable on each and...
Look, he was trying to go against a GOAT, Anton Daniels. That's my boy. I like what Anton Daniels stand for. He a good guy.
Every level.
Are women's standards too high, or is the modern man just performing too low?
Now we have to understand we have a lot of boys trapped in men's bodies.
Some of the clips that I saw on social media were basically of him doing the Derek Jackson special. Okay, he was Derek Jackson 2.0, but a little bit more woke.
Yeah.
Good women are mostly single because they know their self-worth and their value. And they're not allowing a man to come into their life and just tell them anything. Now you have to be the man that you said you were. Men, we are the real gold diggers. We want a woman to regulate our emotions, pat us on the back for doing what a man's supposed to do. Nurture the children, remain sexy, speak life into us when we feel low, and work a 9 to 5 at the same time. You can't convince me that we are not the gold diggers.
Now, yesterday, his wife took to social media with a very lengthy post. And it had like a lot of, I guess, her talking about what happened, talking about the breakup. As you can see here, it says a new chapter. After nearly 8 years, I have made the difficult decision to end my relationship with the father of my children and step into a new chapter of my life. For years, I believed love meant fighting for your family. I gave my all to our home, our children, our businesses, and even protecting his reputation. I kept believing that if we could make it through one more difficult season, peace would meet us on the other side. But at 8 weeks postpartum, looking at a bruise on my face, I had to stop calling it a difficult season and tell myself the truth. It was domestic violence. My 20s were filled with business, babies, and bruises. Building, giving, forgiving, leaving, returning, healing, and hoping. I didn't leave because I stopped loving him. I left because I realized that if I continued to stay, eventually I would drown. The hardest part has been grieving the future I imagined for our children. But one day they will understand that I chose their safety and my peace over a love story I desperately wanted to save. I've learned that people can change, people can heal, but you don't have to lose yourself waiting for them to do it. Loyalty should never require you abandoning yourself. I don't share this for sympathy or to tear anyone down. What happened is part of my story, but it will never become my identity. I am more than someone's wife. I am more than the things I survived. I am a mother, a woman of faith, a visionary, and a woman learning what it means to choose herself. And through this journey, House of Divine was born. I am turning my pain into purpose and my purpose into power for every woman who may one day need the courage, information, and resources I once searched for. During this difficult time, just know that I will be moving along. I ask everyone to respect how I tell my story and when I tell my story. There are parts of this journey that I am still processing, healing from, and learning how to put into words. For now, I am taking it literally day by day. I am allowing myself the grace to simply take each day as it comes, trusting God with every step ahead of me. This isn't the end of my story. It's simply the beginning of a chapter I never expected to write. I choose safety. I choose peace. I choose my children. I choose purpose. And finally, I choose me. Now, why this is so shocking and interesting is not only, you know, the fact that he fans a lot of women's flames, but the fact that the two of them actually just, welcomed a new child into their life.
What?
She was on social media talking about her push presence and how celebrated and stuff that she was from her husband after she had the baby.
My favorite push presents for my husband as a mom of 5. This has been my 5th water birth, unassisted, and my 4th Lotus birth. And my top tier present, I can say thank you, baby, is my postpartum room. This room was completely blank before he came in with the art and the aesthetics and the color scheme. He did this all by himself, and he made sure that I had the services that I needed from Haven Postnatal Retreat. Right here is my doula taking care of.
See, this is prime example why I try to tell people, stop looking towards the internet. A lot of this stuff on the internet is not real. We need to learn how to decipher reality from fantasy. Stop looking for the internet to help you solve problems. The internet is mostly made up. It's a facade. People are using this to get in your pockets. You know what I'm saying? It's that simple.
My newborn, while I'm able to take care of myself.
He was online defending, women who are postpartum.
Postpartum is very real. This is my son's placenta. This is the size of the wound inside women that's trying to heal after they give birth. We're not going to talk about the hormonal withdrawal. We're not going to talk about the neurochemical shifts. We're not going to talk about the sleep deprivation. We're not going to talk about the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. Then hopefully these women are able to get 2 hours of sleep after they give birth. No, you men have to stop stressing because sometimes they might want to be held. They might not want to be held. They might want to laugh. They might want to cry. They might not want to do anything. And you have to show up as the man they need in that moment. And it's no longer about you.
Talking about what should be happening in regards to child support.
Child support money should be for the mother, not the child. If she has this child 24/7 and she's working a full-time job and she's mentally going through it, stressed out and suffering from anxiety, she should use that money to reset. That means to pamper herself. Because a woman that's falling apart is no good for a child. And none of you...
He knew he was going to be able to profit from women. It's that simple.
Men understand the weight, the stress, the pressure that it takes to work a full-time job, maintain a household, and raise children. That's why most of you men fold.
She also came forth with a picture of the bruise on her face, as well as she did a video, talking about how it was over or whatever the case is, with a clearly black eye in the video.
I'm embarrassed. I'm ashamed. I'm hurt. But I know I'll make it through. I've tried everything. Yada.
Crazy
everything. I'm here getting the rest of my stuff.
facade. The internet is a facade.
Now, based on these allegations, it's absolutely absurd to a lot of people on social media, right? Especially women, okay? Because just like with Derek Jackson, when women get hit with the okie doke, they get, they're bamboozled. They can't believe that a man who was saying all these things and defending women, was actually doing any of these things, allegedly. And the fact that he was the one who was like, a real man doesn't disrespect women. Like,
for you to disrespect the mother of your child
Crazy.
is a mental illness. This woman loved you enough to get pregnant, went through the pain of giving birth, had to suffer postpartum depression, and then you don't show up. It's a mental illness. It was fun when it was fun. Now that you have to have responsibilities, now that you have to provide, now that you have to worry about something more than you don't show up. It's a mental illness.
Now, this is a thing, and I've said it a plethora of times, okay? Men who play up these conversations to women make it so much harder and so much more difficult for the actual, masculine men who are being completely transparent and honest with women about their gaze. They make it harder for them to
Preach, Reva. Preach.
navigate relationships, right? Because these men speak to women as a woman.
All a woman wants from a man is for a man to be a man. But the quickest way to lose a woman is inconsistency. Or her mind, her body, her emotions, you being a provider. Yeah. She's not expecting you to be perfect, but she's not expecting you to bleed all over from wounds you refuse to heal. So if you want to lose a good woman because of your trauma, you want to lose a good woman because you're inconsistent, you're the fool. Because the same woman that you're willing to let go of is the same woman another man is praying for.
Okay, they go into how a female's mind works and how she deciphers things and how she filters things through her own lens. And then they, as the man, filter it the same exact way to, whether it's pander, comfort, cater, whatever it is. And so that is now going to create a space where these women who are listening and feeding into these messages are looking at their men at home like, why are you the problem? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? You know what? I do need to, triple or double down on my baby daddy because the child support is for me. It's not for the child.
Child support money should be for the mother, not the child.
You know what? I don't need to work on myself because it can't be me that has any issues or problems. It's got to be the men because here we have other men who are saying the same exact things.
All a woman wants from a man is for a man to be a man.
It's foolishness.
I just think it's just got to come back to people having the ability to think for themselves and understand that the internet is mainly entertainment. Like literally, that's how you got to look at the internet. Entertainment and a business. People that is on these platforms are being paid.
The same exact thing that I've said for years on this platform. It's the same thing as like a woman seeing a guy who gets a woman flowers and saying like, oh my gosh, he's such a nice guy. Why is that? Flowers don't mean nothing.
Nope.
You can have two men, okay? One is over here buying you flowers. He's, spending a whole bunch of money on you. He's doing all these things. That does not make him a good man. You have the other man who's standing right here who's not doing those things, but who is better in character, who's better in leadership, who's more honest, who's more transparent with you. But a lot of times, women, filter men through this superficial lens of what would look good to social media. That's why a lot of people who see this breakup going on are very shocked about the situation. Because they're like, I cannot believe that this was actually what has been going on behind closed doors while, he's parading around telling men how to be men.
You pushed her away. Now you're complaining about her leaving. See, this is the problem. You men take no accountability. How many times has she tried to tell you what was on her mind, but you dismissed her like she wasn't important? Now you want to change. Oh, baby, I changed. No, you're a manipulator.
Now, people have now noticed that she has been dropping nuggets, like kind of like all along. She did a video where she was talking about how dangerous it is to be with an egotistical man.
A man that is led by his ego is an unsafe man. I'm not saying he's evil. I'm not saying he won't ever take accountability. I'm not even saying he won't break down in tears sometimes and admit that he needs to do better. But if protecting his pride is more important than pursuing the truth, you will end up in the same cycle. When a man's ego is stronger than his character or his relationship with God, his decisions become about protecting his image than the people that he claims to love. All right, y'all. So today we're gonna talk about part 2 of being very.
Sound like she talking about her husband. This is crazy. People running to the internet for any and everything. Everything always end up coming to the light, man. Everything. It's just the way it is. This is life.
Conscious when you're dealing with a man that is led by his ego, okay? One of the things that we have to address is the fact that a lot of men that are led by their egos are qualified narcissists, okay? And a lot of times when they realize that you are no longer under their control, what they will try to do is control the narrative around you, okay? They will try to control the narrative of how other people perceive you.
Now, it's interesting, right, that she released these videos, and then when she came out and she made her statement about the two of them not being together, you know, he posted a video of himself walking, it looked like maybe through Africa or so, and like kind of like with like this smug kind of like look on his face.
First you get that money, then you get that power.
The domestic, allegations are allegations at this point because we don't have any like tangible proof just based off of her word alone is kind of like what we're going for to see that, she's saying that this stuff happened. This is what she's acknowledging. She's bringing to the forefront. But this is not like, they haven't gone to trial. There hasn't been anything. He hasn't been convicted of this in regards to a relationship with her. People have said that he has been, accused of doing these things in the past with other women. It's craziness. Now, I haven't heard all of this man's, conversations or speeches or whatever the case is, to really do a deep dive and say that I disagree with every single thing he says, because I'm sure, a broken clock is right more than once a day. And there might be some truth to some of the things that he's saying, but overall, from the messaging that I have seen and from I've seen him portray, it's kind of like I said before, a feminine perspective of how women view men, right? It's giving very much the fairy tale Disney movie things that women are actually stepping away from to realize the reality of how to navigate relationships. It's putting them back into that kind of like facade way of thinking and making it harder or more difficult for women to actually navigate real relationships because they are being fed a narrative that is really not conducive to the reality of what it takes to have a marriage, a relationship as a whole.
Cooking.
I'm just being honest.
She be cooking, man.
Okay, this whole men should bow down to women and be the doormat, and she deserves it all just because she was born woman. Obviously, he can't even live up to that narrative that he's painting to other men and to other women. Clearly.
If you were to never speak to Yada again, ever again, what would you tell him? What would be your last message?
That part's gonna make me cry. But I try everything, and in my heart, I love you. You will always be my best friend. But I have to choose myself, and I have to protect our babies. And I would much rather them have both parents alive than to one be in a hospital with something terminal or one of us not to be here. So I'm praying for you, though. That's what I would say.
And that should be, I think this should speak volumes to women when it comes to people like the Derek Jackson, when it comes to people like, this situation, right? And there's a couple of other people. Whenever you see that these women are the ones who are coming out, the women who are alongside them, who are coming out and telling you that that's not the reality, I think that should make you take a step back and see, okay, if the majority of men are saying this thing and the small portion of men are saying this thing, maybe this small portion is not actually how men think and operate in the real world.
Yeah.
Maybe this should be taken with a grain of salt.
Men, we are the real gold diggers.
Simping is dangerous.
Yes.
Look at what he just did to Will Smith. One of the biggest nights of his life ruined.
That's my opinion. I'm not gonna lie. I think what's baffling the most to people is the fact that she is postpartum, that she did just have a child, and she is the mother of his children, and a lot of his arguments, are contrary to the things that he allegedly has done within their relationship.
For you to disrespect the mother of your child is a mental illness.
You pushed her away. Now you're complaining about her leaving. See, this is the problem. You men take no accountability. No, you men have to stop stressing.
Woman does not walk away from a place where she feels happy and she's stable on each and every level.
But in my opinion, when men who proclaim these things do obscene things, it doesn't shock me. Because I was looking at you crazy from morning.
I swear, man, with that type of energy, that's so crazy to see that he's really like this, but it's not a surprise. I should have known from the get-go it was a facade. There's no way he's speaking from a woman's perspective, and he is a man. I mean, he is a man, yeah. But that's crazy, though, man. I don't know what y'all think, man. Is this story not wild, or are y'all not surprised like me?